So I have another recipe going on here today. This is a very old recipe. This recipe this has been in my family for many, many years. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, that this recipe was taken from a back of a magazine. And it's a beef rice casserole. And it's very simple. But, maybe somebody out there will like making this. This is very good. I've grown up on this. I still make it till today, obviously, and we'll go through some ingredients. I got 2 pounds of ground beef. This is 80-20. You can use 93 if you want. Just use less ground beef because, the 80-20 is going to shrink down, so you're going to wind up with probably 1.25 pounds, which is fine for this. I got about a half a pound, 3/4 of ground sausage that I've already pre-cooked. A little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. I got some breadcrumbs here and 2 cans of, this is just vegetable beef soup. That's all it is. These are 10-ounce cans. You can buy one family can. It's the same exact thing. And then I have 3 bags of success rice. Now, this is not anything fancy. This is a recipe, like I said, it's quick, it's easy, it serves a lot, and I personally think it's good. If you guys make it, you want to leave a comment in the description down below, you can do that. And let me know how you liked it. But again, this recipe is like 50 years old. So without ado, let's get rolling on this recipe. And we'll start boiling up the rice and frying up some of this ground beef. And we'll show you how to put it together. Maximum, it's a 15-minute deal here. So hope you guys enjoy this, and let's get boiling some rice. All right, so here we have a pot of boiling water. Like I said, this is so easy, this recipe. We're just going to throw the bags in. Now you can make this, you can make just regular rice where you steam it yourself. You can absolutely do that. It's not a big deal. I'm going to just set a timer for 10 minutes here, and we're going to let this go for 10 minutes. Now, if once this is cooked, this is going to be about every 59 grams equals 1 cup of cooked rice. So once this is done cooking, this is going to probably be somewhere around 7.5 cups of rice. So that's what I use. So if you're going to do a calculation, if you're going to cook regular rice in a pot or a rice cooker, you can do the calculations. Usually it's 59 grams of dry rice equals 1 cup of cooked rice. So that's what we got going on here. And now we're going to get on with the ground beef, and we're going to brown that up. All right, so the ground beef goes in very hot skillet. 2 pounds. So we're going to do this just like we would do anything else. We're just going to break this up like this, because you don't want this in big chunks. So kind of break it down a little bit. And this is the same way that I did the sausage as well. I had some sausage left over that I pre-cooked that I do like throwing in this recipe. The original recipe just calls for ground beef, not so much the sausage, but I like it, so I put it in. So you can just do, like I said, you can do 2 pounds of the 80-20, or you can do like, if you're doing like 93, you can just do a pound, because the fat content in that isn't going to cook down. You're not going to get all this fat in it. And I do drain this. So if you're wondering if I drain this, I absolutely do. So we're just going to let this go. This is going to take like 5 minutes. The rice is going to take like 10. And, we're just going to season this up. And this is where our salt and pepper comes in. I don't know. I don't measure a whole bunch usually. Sometimes I do if it's a meal that has to be, right to the T. Like if you do like pastries or something like that, those recipes have to be right on the mark. But something like this, you're just seasoning salt and pepper. You can put, if you want to make this dish spicy, Right now you could add in red pepper flake. You could also sprinkle this ground beef with cayenne pepper. So if you're a spicy person, feel free to do that. That will also work. You guys see there's going to be a lot of grease left into this after I'm done cooking it. That's why we drain this. I don't want all that. I don't want all that in the casserole. Oh, you're also going to need a 11 by 9 by 13 casserole dish. That's what we're going to put this on, and we're going to sprinkle breadcrumbs on top of it. So I'm going to let this cook. I'm going to let the rice cook. It should be done about the same time, and after that we'll show you exactly how we put all this together. Basically, it's just throwing everything into the same dish, throwing it in the oven, 375, 20-25 minutes, little breadcrumbs on top, wait until it's all heated through, and that's it. That's your meal. And we'll be back to show you that. All right, so the next thing that we do, this is not the dish that it's going to be baking in. Like I said, a 9 by 13 pan casserole dish would be fine. I just need this to mix it, because if you try to mix it in the casserole dish, you may actually get it all over the place. So first thing that we're going to do, and you can do this in any order, it doesn't necessarily mean anything. We're just going to dump in the rice. This is the rice that I had just boiled, and like I said, you can, without a doubt, you can do this if you want to use a rice cooker or whatever. It comes out to about 7.5 cups cooked. So we're just going to dump this in here. All right, so that's about 7.5 cups. All right, now we're going to add the ground sausage. And we're going to add the 2 cans of vegetable beef rice. Now this is not condensed. So if you were using condensed, you probably want to add a little bit more water, but it's not condensed. So I'm only going to add, less water than I would if I was using a super condensed can of soup. So this has, there could be 2 ways of doing this recipe. Now, if you guys know the vegetable beef soup, it's got carrots in it, it's got peas in it, there's it looks like there's green beans in it, it's a little bit of potato, and there's also some beef, some small things of beef. So you can actually do like pieces of steak in this, boil your own potatoes, cook your own carrots, use some frozen peas, or use frozen peas and carrots. If you kind of wanted to bump this up a little bit, do like a gourmet version of this, you could absolutely do that like this. I haven't made it like that yet, but I will definitely do that just to see if the taste comparison. But this is old school. This is how I make it. Let's just grab the ground beef and... Okay, so what I do is, because I try to drain the oil out of it, you can see the grease that settles over here, and then I just push this way. It keeps most of the grease in the back. You can drain this on a paper towel. You can do it however you want. You're just trying to get less, less of the calories, I guess, but this is a great meal, like if you want to do this, like, after work, or if you're in a rush and you don't have nothing to do to, feed the kids or whatever. This is absolutely ideal. So you can see how much stuff is in this now, and now you'll see why you got to mix it in that bowl. Okay, so we're just gonna mix this, and we're gonna see how moist it is after we get done mixing it, because you don't want this super dry, but you don't want it like, mopping wet either. So you just keep mixing this until it's all incorporated. Brings back a lot of memories, this recipe. Yeah, see, this is perfect. This is exactly how it's supposed to look. So I'll run down the recipe again for you. It's 2 cans of 10-ounce vegetable beef rice soup, or I'm sorry, vegetable beef soup, about 7.5 cups of cooked rice. There's some sausage in it. You know, you throw a half a pound. The meat part of it is not really super important. It just depends on how much you like in it. And then I used 2 pounds of the 80/20, which probably, weighing at the end after it was all done and cooked, is probably like about a pound and, I don't know, maybe a pound and a quarter, because that you really lose a lot with the 80/20. But that's what I had on hand, so that's what I used. And a little salt and pepper, and that's it. So this here is exactly what that is supposed to look like. Something like that. Okay, so now we're just going to transfer this to, we're going to move this over. We're going to transfer this to, is this 9x13? Yeah, I think it's 9x13 casserole dish. I'm just going to pour this in. And you can see why now I didn't want to mix it in here, because it just would have been a disaster. So you can do this in a any kind of dish you want to, but this here kind of like levels it out a little bit more. And everything's cooked. All you're doing is heating it up. So that's it. That's this meal, and this took all of, I don't know, the longest thing that you had to cook was the rice. I think it was 10 minutes, or maybe the ground beef took a little bit longer. But that's it. That's how you you put this meal together. And then this is going to go in the oven, and we're going to just sprinkle a little bit of breadcrumb on the top. Okay, and this is going to go in the oven for 20-25 minutes uncovered, because you don't want to trap the heat in it, because you don't want the rice to cook anymore. So don't put aluminum foil on this. Don't smother this, you know, and just a weird breadcrumb right there. Okay, so yeah, so leave it uncovered, let it steam off in the oven, and we'll show you what it's like when it comes out of the oven. So this casserole is done, and this is what it looks like when it comes out of the oven. This is great. It'll get a little bit of crunch on top. It's very hot when this comes out. So I baked this for about 20 minutes to 25 minutes. You leave it in. Yeah, it's all heated. You're just reheating it basically. But then I did hit it with the broiler for about 3 or 4 minutes. So what we're going to do is I'm going to put this aside, and we're going to plate this up. So I'm just going to push this off over here like this, and then I'm going to bring a plate in. Okay. And it would be nice if I was a little prepared to plate this up, but apparently I don't have my serving spoon. So next best thing, serving spoon right here. So and you can see this is piping hot. So it would be much better if I had a bigger serving spoon, but I don't. I knew that was going to happen. Like I said, this is a very quick, very easy meal to take care of, and it goes a long way. So it's super quick. 15, no, not 15 minutes, but you know, it's you know, within a half-hour dinner can be made. So this is how I serve this, and then what I do is I just take a little bit of whatever cheese you want. This is just some Parmesan Reggiano. We turn around and we put a little cheese on it, just like that. It smells so good, and that's about this is about how I do it. So this is how I make a beef rice casserole. And just like that. All right, so you guys know how I end my videos. If you want it done right, make it yourself. Don't be afraid to get in the kitchen and get some of this done. You guys make it. I hope you enjoy it, and I will see you in the next video.